You solve for PMT. What did you just find? So here, if we did my TVM solver here, that is telling me the minimum I need to pay every month to pay off this 500 grand loan at 5% rate is $2,684.11. One strategy to minimize interest on a loan is to choose, if you can afford it, to pay more than you need to pay more than that minimum number. However, you need to keep in mind that you only get that benefit, less interest at the end of the loan. It's costing you more each month. So if you can't afford it, then it's sort of like short-term pain for long-term gain. So mathematically, if you're taking notes, mathematically larger repayments mean that you decide PMT, I%, PV, and FV all remain the same. The only thing that you're solving for is N, and it's going to be shorter. Because what are you doing? You're chunking down your debt faster each month because the PMT is going to be bigger than it's meant to be. So example, consider the default home loan of 2025. How much interest would I save by paying $100 more per month? This is the minimum right now, $2,684.11. What would that number be if I was paying $100 more than it's supposed to be? Would it still be 2,684? Would it be 2,584? Would it be 2,784? What's $100 more than $2,684.11? 2,7. So I'm going to change that to negative 2,784.11. I'm still borrowing 500 grand. It's still a 5% rate. The only thing that's going to change is I'm forcing it to be paid faster. So if it's going to get paid faster, N is going to be shorter. Alpha, enter. See how that's less than 30 years? It's 331.77 months. So how do I show this maths? Default loan repayments were $2,684.11. The $100 more repayments are going to be $2,784.11. So the maths is going to look like this. I solve for N. It came up 331.77 to 2DP. The interest rate was still 5. I still borrowed 500 grand. PMT was now negative 2,784.11. What do I want to owe the bank at the end of a loan? Nothing. PY, I was still paying monthly. And the bank was still compounding monthly. So the only thing that's changed is the loan is getting finished quicker. What's the interest going to be now? Loan is PMT 2784.11 times by, is it still going to be 360 payments like before? Before it was 360 payments. Now it's going to be 331.77. 331.77. Take away 500 grand. Take nothing. Let's have a look at that. 2784.11 times 331.77. Take away 500 grand. Now I'm only paying $423,684.17 to 2DP. What did I pay originally? That was on the home loans DI that I pretended to start. Let's have a look at these numbers. If I'm choosing to pay $100 more, I'm paying $423,684 interest. If I was just paying the default, it's $466,279. So how much does that save me? Just close. Like what roundabout figures, how much cheaper is it over the life of the loan in interest-wise? What's the difference between those two? Yeah?
That's around like 30,000 or so dollars.
30,000, 30 to 40 grand saved by just choosing to pay $100 more per month. $100 sounds a lot to you, but $100 in a month is nothing. How much is a coffee per day? Let's say $5. $5 per day just in the weekday, that's $25. So $25 in a week. How many weeks generally in a month? Around 4. That's your $100 right there. To save almost 40 grand, that's worth it. Okay? So the next calculation would be interest saved would be 466,279.60. That's the OG minus the 423,684.17. That's with a strategy applied. Calculator. So that's going to be 466,279.60. Take 423,684.17. You're going to save over 40 grand. $42,595.43. If you're an adult and you are working, maybe you've got a partner, is $100 extra per month realistic? Did we just establish that that's $5 a day on a coffee? Maybe just don't buy the fancy coffee. Isn't Boost Juice like $13 for like the standard drink size? That's crazy. Huh? And as far as I know, I'm not a drinker. As far as I know, alcoholic beverages are quite expensive too. Okay? So that is the strategy of larger repayments. I'll stop the video there.